In the last video, we explored the power of self-belief and how it determines everything around us. In this video, with the help of a pen and paper, which I hope you can prepare, we will examine our own self-beliefs and keep those that serve us and make our life better, and get rid of those and change those that don't do that. Our beliefs are mostly ideas placed in our head by our parents, by our upbringing, by school, society, culture, religion, social media, and your good in life experiences. And what you'll see with today's exercise is that most of these ideas you have about yourself and life and other people are not even your own ideas. Hi guys, this is Sammy from Samotivation. Before we begin this exercise, I'd like to introduce a new word to your vocabulary today. The word self-efficacy. The concept of self-efficacy came as a result of the research of Canadian-American psychologist Albert Bandura, who determined that a person's level of self-efficacy, in other words, their belief in their abilities, determines for how long and how they respond to stress and challenges whenever they're working towards a goal. And he came to the conclusion that whenever a person is determined to work through their goals, it develops higher and higher levels of self-efficacy and builds their confidence even further. So here's something that I do anytime I face a challenge or an obstacle. And you might not see this with this video. See, I lost my train of thought again. And you don't see this in the videos because everything is edited. But I do stutter and stammer and I lose my train of thought sometimes. But I also realize that the only way to get good at something is to continue pursuing a goal, regardless of how many obstacles or mistakes you make in the process. And one of the thoughts that helps me deal with challenges is this can't be the end of me, whenever I make a mistake. I have such big goals and targets for myself and standards that I hold myself to. And I am far bigger than my mistakes, my obstacles, or any issue that I face along the way as I work towards my goals. So anytime I face a challenge, I think about previous obstacles or negative experiences that I overcame, and I came through the other side better and stronger and a much better version of myself in general. And then I come to the conclusion that I am far bigger than this situation or this problem or this mistake, and I will find a way to make this happen. So as I begin to look at different situations in my past that I had to overcome, this increases my self-efficacy even more and the self-belief that I have in myself. And as you can see, if you've been following me from my very first YouTube video, I hope you can also notice that the quality and the way I present myself on camera has improved over time as well. I'm not gonna lie and say that I also don't have days where I doubt myself and I don't want to get out of bed and face the world, because I do have days like that. But just like you, I've set a target for myself and I want to become the very best version of myself that I can be. I want to improve myself continually and be better than I've ever been. So let's begin today's exercise. Please grab your pen and paper. And like you, I've also watched many videos where there's an exercise like this, and I just think to myself, it's fine, I don't need a pen and paper. I can just do it in my head without watching. But trust me, if you want to get the full benefits of this exercise, please get yourself a pen and paper. And trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to thank me and say, you were right. Because when you take your self-beliefs that are all in your head and they're all clumped up like this, when you put them on a sheet of paper and see them clearly in front of you, you can find a way to structure them, organize them, and keep those that serve you and get rid of those that don't. And I'm going to go through different steps here. So feel free to pause this video, take your time with it, pause it, get your pen and paper, write down your thoughts, and then go back to the video for the next step. So the very first thing we're going to do is ask ourselves, what are my beliefs? And I'm going to write each one down on the sheet of paper in front of you. How do you perceive yourself? Do you see yourself as someone who's confident? Are you attractive? Do you think you're unconfident? Do you think you're not attractive? Are you too short, too tall, too fat, too thin? What do you think about money and success? Do you think money is hard to come by? Do you think that rich people are bad? Do you think that you will never become wealthy or have any money because your family was not wealthy? What do you think about success? Is success something that's reserved for a select group of people? And how about jobs? Are jobs hard to come by? Are all bosses bad because you had a bad boss in the past? It's something I need to tell myself. What do you think about life as a whole? Do you think that life is a process of suffering and challenges? Or is it an opportunity to go through challenges and grow through them? Write everything down, and once you're finished, pause this video and take a look at what you've written for a few minutes and have a think about where these beliefs came from. Are these your ideas? Are these other people's ideas? Or did you generalize because you had a bad experience in life and you thought that just because something bad happened to you, it means the rest of your life is going to be like that? And after we've examined the source of these beliefs, let's take a look at them in more detail. Is this belief true? Is it valid? And what effect will this belief have on my life, on myself, on my relationships, on my career, on my success, on my health, and so on? Will these beliefs have a positive effect, or will they have a negative effect? And what if I chose to believe otherwise? How then would my life be? And feel free to pause this video again. Really take a deep look into these beliefs and these thoughts. And after you're done writing down your beliefs and questioning the source and their validity and how you would have to restructure some of these beliefs so that it actually serves your life, let's take a look at what would I have to believe instead to improve the quality of my life? How can I substitute these negative beliefs that don't serve me anymore and substitute them for something better that will actually enhance the quality of myself and my life? I'll give you an example, one of my own self-beliefs that I'm still learning to get over. I think a lot of guys might actually relate to this. Growing up, I was a very skinny and insecure kid. And I'd have people, even in my own family, always telling me how skinny I was. So I always had this idea that regardless of how many times I go to the gym or how much muscle I gain, and I've gained a significant amount of muscle over the years, I still see myself as someone who's very skinny. I believe they call it body dysmorphia. Regardless of how many times you go to the gym or how much muscle you gain, you always feel like you are still skinny or you're not muscular enough. And if you can relate to this, comment below, because I'm sure like you, there are many other people who feel the same exact way. So one thing I did when I was doing this exercise myself is question where I got this idea from. I mean, okay, I was skinny back in the day, maybe a bit too skinny for my age at the time when I was going through puberty, but it's not the case anymore. When I looked at the source of this idea, I thought about some of the negative experiences I had in life. I thought about the rejections from girls. I thought about some people in school bullying me. I thought about some of my family members telling me I need to eat more because I'm too skinny. We get it, you have a sports car. We get it. Wallah, we get it. And then I began to think, in what way do these beliefs actually benefit my life? And then I thought, okay, maybe they might actually push me to go to the gym and get into better shape. But these ideas that I had over 10, 15 years ago, are they still valid right now? And do I need to have these ideas as I continue working to improve my body at the gym? No, because it affects my confidence. It doesn't make me feel good about myself and my body. And it'd be much better for me to believe that my body is in a state of constant change. And that just because I experienced something in the past doesn't mean I have to hold this idea onto my identity for the rest of my life. And you might realize some things like that for yourself as you're doing this exercise. And now that you have a beautiful piece of paper or not so beautiful piece of paper with all your self-beliefs onto it. And let's look at our goals for the next 6 months. What do you want to achieve in the next 6 months? And do these beliefs that you have, do they align with these goals? Will they help you achieve these goals or not? Or will they push you back instead? Will these beliefs contribute to you achieving your goals? Or are they an obstacle instead? And if they are an obstacle, how would you have to change these beliefs to help you achieve these goals? Now change these beliefs that you have to actually suit your goals. And now write down the beliefs that you would have to actually achieve these goals. And the thing about beliefs is that they don't necessarily have to be 100% true. And I'm not saying be cocky and arrogant and delusional and think you're better than other people. But there are some beliefs that limit you. And then there are those that actually benefit you. And your life can only get better if you believe certain things. And it can get worse if you believe other things. So choose your self-beliefs very carefully. And also take a look at some of these beliefs that we wrote down earlier in the exercise. Are these 100% true? The negative ones that we wrote down especially. Wouldn't it be more beneficial to think things that actually serve you as opposed to harm you? So even if these beliefs don't necessarily have to be 100% true, it's just more beneficial for you to believe those that actually help you reach your goal as opposed to keep the goal farther and farther away into the distance where you can't reach it. And do you remember that story with the twins from the previous video? Different perspectives on the same exact situation. The self-belief made the whole difference. So what did you discover about yourself with this exercise? What are some of your self-beliefs? And what are some of your goals for the next 6 months? Please tell me in the comments below. I'd love to hear more about it. And if you learned something new about yourself today, please make sure you subscribe to this channel. It's the best way to show support and encourage me to create more videos like this that'll help take you and your life to the very next level. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the very next video. This is Sammy, signing off.